SKOL Vikings Nation. Buckle up, because we're diving into the heart of Minnesota Vikings Training Camp 2025, where our boy JJ McCarthy is battling it out under the blazing Egan sun. Can you feel the electricity at TCO Performance Center? Our young quarterback is facing a defense that's straight up ferocious, and the vibes are intense. Today, we're breaking down the latest Vikings news, from McCarthy's ups and downs to injury updates on stars like Justin Jefferson and Christian Darrisaw. Ready for the ride? Let's unpack 15 key moments that have us buzzing. Hit that like button if you're pumped for the season. Picture this: JJ McCarthy, our number 10 draft pick from 2024, steps onto the field, eyes locked on the prize. He's coming off a knee injury that stole his rookie season, but the kid's got fire, 27-1 as a starter at Michigan, with a national championship to boot. Early in camp, he was slinging passes like a seasoned pro, connecting with Jalen Nailor and TJ Hawkinson in ways that had fans screaming "SKOL" on July 26th. But here's the teaser. The last few practices? Oof, they've been a grind. What's going on with our QB1? Stick around to find out. So what's the deal? McCarthy's been facing Brian Flores' defense, a unit so nasty it could make Tom Brady sweat. In Tuesday's red zone drills, JJ went 3-for-11. Yep, you heard that right. The defense was all over him, collapsing pockets and snagging picks. But hold up, Vikings fans. Is this a red flag or just a rookie finding his footing? Let's dive into the first key moment and see what's cooking in Egan. What do you think? Can JJ turn these struggles into gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The pads are on, and the Minnesota Vikings defense is bringing the heat. On July 28th, during the first full pads practice, rookie linebacker Dallas Turner was a one-man wrecking crew, sacking McCarthy and nearly picking off a pass in the flat. The kid's a 2024 first-rounder, and he's already showing why the Vikings traded up for him. This defense, led by studs like Jonathan Greenard and Harrison Smith, is giving JJ no breathing room. It's like facing Thanos with all the Infinity Stones. McCarthy, though, isn't backing down. It's never a loss, he told the Minnesota Star-Tribune. You're always learning. That's the mindset of a champ, right? He's studying film, tweaking his footwork, and leaning on Coach Kevin O'Connell's play-calling genius. But here's the kicker. Without Justin Jefferson on the field, the offense is missing its spark. Can JJ find his rhythm against this swarming D? Vikings news is buzzing with this storyline. What's your take, SKOL Nation? Imagine being a 22-year-old QB staring down a defense that's picking off passes left and right. On July 30th, cornerback Dwight McCloughan had a field day, snagging interceptions on 3 straight plays. He even ran one back to Jefferson on the sidelines for some friendly trash talk. This is the kind of pressure that builds diamonds, folks. McCarthy's learning to navigate tight windows, especially in the red zone where every inch counts. Who else is hyped for this defense in 2025? Tuesday's red zone session was a wake-up call for McCarthy. Completing just 3 of 11 passes, he admitted to missing by inches. But don't sleep on the kid, he's got that Michigan grit. He's talking about precision, ball placement, and soaking up every rep like a sponge. The Vikings offense, still without Jefferson and with Darrisaw easing back in, is a work in progress. Should we be worried, or is this just camp growing pains? Hit the comments with your hot takes. Let's talk about Christian Darrisaw, our left tackle beast, who's back from a brutal ACL and MCL tear from Week 8 last season. On July 30th, he took his first 11 on 11 reps of camp, a huge milestone. Coach O'Connell is playing it smart, rotating Darrisaw with Justin SKOL to ease him back. Vikings news is lit with this update. Darrisaw's return could be the key to protecting JJ's blind side. How big is this for our offense? Darrisaw's recovery has been nothing short of epic. After surgery and months of rehab, he's been a fixture at TCO, grinding daily. O'Connell praised his laser focus, saying he's crushing weekly goals. With new linemen like Ryan Kelly and Will Fries joining the squad, the Vikings O-line is shaping up to be a fortress. But here's the suspense. Will Darrisaw be full go by Week 1? What do you think? Fans, can our O-line dominate? The big man's return isn't just physical. It's a vibe. Brian O'Neill, his fellow tackle, calls Darisaw freakish and strong as an ox. That's high praise from a locker room leader. With Donovan Jackson, a 2025 first-round pick, competing at left guard, this line could be a game-changer for McCarthy. Vikings fans, are you feeling the hype for this revamped front? Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Justin Jefferson, our WR1 and Vikings captain, is sidelined with a minor hamstring strain from day 2 of camp. No panic needed. It's July, and O'Connell's playing it safe. JJ's still out there, coaching up rookies like Dante Fleming and hyping the squad with his signature swagger. Vikings News is calling this a very minor issue, but his absence is felt. How much does JJ's presence change this offense? Without Jefferson, McCarthy's leaning on Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Jalen Nailor. On July 30th, JJ hit Nailor for 2 quick gains in a 2-minute drill, showing flashes of clutch play. But the offense only moved the ball past the line of scrimmage once in 8 plays against the first-team D. That's rough. Can McCarthy build chemistry with his other weapons? Drop your thoughts below. SKOL Crew. Jefferson's injury history in 2023 taught him to listen to his body, and he's not rushing back. He's still communicating with McCarthy off the field, fine-tuning routes and ball placement. This is the kind of leadership that makes Vikings Nation proud. Will JJ be 100% for Week 1 against the Steelers in Dublin? Let's speculate in the comments. SKOL. The Minnesota Vikings defense is a problem, folks. Brian Flores' unit is swarming, with guys like Byron Murphy Jr. swatting down screens and Jay Ward picking off deep balls. On July 30th, all 4 QBs, McCarthy, Sam Howell, Brett Rippon, and Max Brosmer, threw picks in 11-on-11s. This D is relentless, and it's making our offense better. Who's your favorite defensive playmaker right now? McCarthy's taking his lumps, but he's growing. Those periods where they really get you, he said. That's where we learn the most. Facing this defense is like prepping for a playoff game every day. Vikings News is hyping Flores' scheme as a game-changer for 2025. Can this unit carry us deep into January? Let's hear your bold predictions. The defense's dominance isn't just about picks. It's about chaos. Jonathan Greenid and Dallas Turner are collapsing pockets, while Harrison Smith forced a fumble on July 30th. This is the kind of intensity that could make Minnesota a nightmare for opponents. Vikings fans, are you ready for this defense to shine? Comment below. Let's zoom in on JJ McCarthy's mindset. The kid's only 22, but he's got the poise of a veteran. Center Ryan Kelly, a free agent pickup, compares him to Phillip Rivers and Andrew Luck for his leadership. That's huge praise. JJ's been organizing off-season workouts in Nashville and St. Paul, building chemistry with Jefferson, Addison, and Hawkinson. How clutch is that for a young QB? Despite the rough practices, McCarthy's not fazed. He's all about constant improvement, analyzing every miss and learning from it. Vikings News loves his grit. He's not just a talent, he's a worker. Will this mindset make him a star by Week 1? What's your confidence level in JJ SKOL Nation? O'Connell's been a mentor, meeting one-on-one with McCarthy weekly during his injury-riddled 2024. Those sessions built trust and game smarts. Now, with real reps against Flores defense, JJ's adding layers to his game. Vikings fans, are you buying the hype around our QB whisperer O'Connell? Drop it in the comments. The offensive line is getting a major glow-up. Will Fries, cleared from a tibia fracture, is full go at right guard. Ryan Kelly's veteran savvy at center is a godsend for McCarthy. And Donovan Jackson's battling Blake Brandel for left guard reps. This unit's got depth and grit, but can they gel in time for the season? Darisaw's return is the headline, but don't sleep on Brian O'Neill. He's been a rock at right tackle, mentoring the new guys. Vikings News is buzzing about this line's potential to keep JJ upright against elite pass rushers. How big is a strong O-line for our young QB? Let's talk about it below. The line's chemistry is key. Kelly and Fries, ex-Colts teammates, bring familiarity, while O'Connell's hyping their ability to handle Flores' complex fronts. With Darisaw easing back, the Vikings are cautious but optimistic. SKOL Nation, are you feeling good about this O-line? Share your thoughts. Jordan Mason, our new RB from the 49ers, is turning heads. He's taking first-team reps alongside Aaron Jones, hinting at a thunder and lightning duo. Mason's bruising style could be huge in short-yardage situations, easing the load on Jones. Vikings News is loving this RB depth. What's your take? On July 30th, McCarthy handed off to Mason for a big run in a 2-minute drill, showing their potential to close games. The Vikings want to keep Jones fresh after his 255 carries last season. Can Mason be the X-factor in our run game? Drop your predictions in the comments. O'Connell's teasing a 21 personnel look with both Jones and Mason on the field. That could create mismatches and keep defenses guessing. Vikings fans, are you excited for this two-back attack? Let's hear how you think it'll play out. The secondary is stepping up big time. Jay Ward and Theo Jackson are making plays, with Ward breaking up passes and snagging a pick off McCarthy on July 30th. Dwight McGlothern's 3-INT day was straight-up legendary. This DB group is deep and hungry. Can they lock down NFL receivers? Harrison Smith, the veteran safety, is still a force, forcing a fumble in team drills. With Josh Metellus nursing a minor ankle tweak, the young guys are getting reps. Vikings News is hyping this secondary as a strength. Who's your breakout DB for 2025? Comment below. Brian Flores' scheme is all about versatility. Safeties dropping down, corners blitzing. It's giving McCarthy fits now, but it's prepping him for the real thing. Vikings fans, how confident are you in this secondary? Let's get those SKOL chants going in the comments. TJ Hawkinson's looking sharp, catching passes from McCarthy despite the defensive pressure. After missing time in 2024 with an injury, he's back and hungry. JJ's finding him in tight windows, like a clutch throw on July 30th. Can Hawkinson be our secret weapon? The tight end room with Josh Oliver and rookie Gavin Bartholomew adds depth. Hawkinson's chemistry with McCarthy, built during off-season workouts, is paying off. Vikings News sees him as a key piece for JJ's growth. What's your hype level for TJ this season? O'Connell's offense loves using tight ends, and Hawkinson's route running is elite. With Jefferson out, he's a safety valve for McCarthy. Vikings fans, how many TDs do you think TJ scores in 2025? Drop your guesses in the comments. Jalen Nailor is emerging as a legit WR3. On July 30th, he caught 2 quick passes from McCarthy in a 2-minute drill, showing speed and hands. With Jefferson sidelined, Nailor's getting big reps. Is he ready to break out in 2025? Nailor's not alone. Rondale Moore and Ty Felton are also making noise. Moore, fresh off the PUP list, looks explosive. Vikings News is buzzing about this WR depth. Can these guys step up if JJ's out longer? Let's hear your thoughts. SKOL Nation. McCarthy's connection with Nailor is growing, especially on intermediate routes. O'Connell's praising JJ's ability to curve passes over defenders, like one to Nailor on July 28th. Vikings fans, who's your dark horse WR this year? Comment below. The linebacker core is stacked. Dallas Turner's sack and near INT on July 28th were just a taste. Blake Cashman stuffed a run, and Ivan Pace Jr. is flying around. This group's speed and physicality are giving McCarthy nightmares. How scary is this LB unit? Jonathan Greenid and Andrew Van Ginkel, free agent additions, are meshing with Turner to form a lethal edge rush. Vikings News is calling this one of the NFL's best LB groups. Can they lead us to a top 10 defense? Drop your take in the comments. Flores' scheme thrives on aggressive playmakers, and these linebackers fit the bill. They're forcing McCarthy to make quick reads, prepping him for game speed. Vikings fans, who's your favorite LB to watch? Let's get those SKOL vibes going. Sam Howell and Brett Rippon are battling for QB2, but it's McCarthy's show. Howell threw a pick to Theo Jackson on July 30th, and Rippon's reps are limited. Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie, is showing arm talent but also tossed a pick. Who's your pick for backup QB? The Vikings passed on Aaron Rodgers in free agency, banking on JJ as QB1. O'Connell's confidence in McCarthy is sky high, but depth matters. Vikings News is watching this QB room closely. Should we sign a veteran backup? Comment your thoughts. McCarthy's the future, but Howell and Rippon bring experience. Howell struggled, but his arm could shine in preseason. Vikings fans, how important is a strong QB2 for our playoff push? Let's talk about it below. Special teams are looking solid, with kicker Will Reichard nailing 10 of 13 field goals in camp. On July 30th, he went 5-for-7 in special teams drills. A reliable kicker could be huge for close games. How clutch is Reichard gonna be? The Vikings special teams, led by Matt Daniels, are emphasizing consistency. Reichard's leg strength is legit, but those two misses raise questions. Vikings News is optimistic about his growth. What's your confidence in our kicking game, SKOL Nation? With punter Ryan Wright and long snapper Andrew DePaula rounding out the unit, special teams could be a strength. Reichard's performance in preseason will be key. Vikings fans, how many points do you think special teams win us this year? Drop it in the comments. We're not panicking about McCarthy's struggles yet. It's early, and he's facing a defense that's straight up elite. Missing Jefferson and Darisaw doesn't help, but JJ's learning fast. Vikings News is all about growth over perfection in July. Are you staying patient with JJ? By week 1, McCarthy could be a different QB. O'Connell's system is QB-friendly, and with weapons like Jefferson, Hawkinson, and Addison, the sky's the limit. The Vikings went 14-3 last year. Can JJ keep that momentum? Let's hear your season predictions. The suspense is killing us. Will McCarthy turn these learning moments into wins? Preseason games start soon, and that's where we'll see his real progress. Vikings Nation, are you ready for JJ to shine? Smash that like button, drop a SKOL in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings news. That's a wrap, Vikings Nation. What a wild start to training camp. McCarthy's growing. The defense is dominating, and our stars are on the mend. Who's your MVP so far? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and share this with your fellow SKOL fans. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single Vikings news update. Let's get ready for Week 1, SKOL.